Hi, hello and welcome back to F1 Challenge VB. My name is Mephisto and our epic journey through the history of Formula 1 continues today with the 6th round of the 1964 season, the German Grand Prix. It was held on the 2nd of August, it had 24 entries, 22 of them took part in the race with 8 of them ending up retiring. The race consisted of 15 laps completed in 2 hours, 12 minutes and 4 seconds. John Sturdy started the race from pole with Clark in 2nd, Gurney 3rd, Bandini 4th, Graham Hill 5th and Brabham started from 6th. After a superb race, John Sturdy managed to win the German Grand Prix from Graham Hill, who finished 1 minute 15.6 seconds after Surtees. Bandini came home in 3rd, he was 4 minutes 52.8 seconds behind. Siffert crossed the line in 4th, he was 5 minutes 23.1 seconds behind. Trintignant retired on lap 14 due to a battery problem, but was still classified in 5th, and rounding off the top 6 was Tony Max, who was 1 lap down. Surtees was the fastest man of the race, posting a lap time of 8 minutes 39.0 seconds. Welcome to the amazing Nordschleife circuit, where a lap starts off with a long run down into turn 1, a medium speed left-hander that feeds directly into turn 2, a slow, long right-hander. Take it easy and don't use too much power as the car likes to oversteer through here. Turn 3 is next, which is a medium speed left-hander. Once again, be patient and don't use too much power. Further along, we come into a medium to fast blind right-hander. Be careful though not to go too fast, as you could end up crashing into the foot of the overpass. From here, the track opens up a bit until we reach this slow left-hander that crosses a bridge. Be extremely careful as the bridge is quite narrow. Shortly after that, we come into another left-hander that crosses a narrow bridge. We then go up the hill through this right-hander. Easy on the throttle when you reach the top of the hill, as it is very easy to spin the car. Eventually, we make our way into one of the most iconic corners in motorsport, the carousel. Try to aim for the second tree from the right and feed the car through the bowl. Later on, we come through the mini carousel. Once again, take it easy and feed the car through the bowl. Next, we come into a very long right-hander that brings us onto the longest straight in Formula 1. Finally, we reach the last corner of the track, a left-hand sweeper that brings us around onto the main straight, and that is a lap around the Nordschleife circuit. And here we are in qualifying, coming around to set our first and only qualifying lap because, well, this circuit is so freaking long. And we set a 8:28.9, which is almost a minute faster than the previous pole time, which gives me great confidence going into the race today. So we might actually start from pole for once. That would be nice, a nice change of pace. Haven't done that in a very long time. And here are the previous German Grand Prix winners. Last time Andy won here was in 1958, so that was quite a while back. So hopefully we'll be able to capitalize on our very good starting position, as we see Andy Higgs on pole, followed by Lorenzo Bandini in 2nd, Joe Siffert is 3rd, Chris Amon is 4th, Bruce McLaren 5th, and Gerhard Mitter rounding off the top 6. After that, we have Bob Anderson in 7th, followed by Joe Bonner in 8th, 9th is Peter Webston, followed by André Pilet in 10th. In 11th, we have John Surtees in his Ferrari, followed by Tony Max in 12th, 13th is Innes Ireland. Then we have Trintignant in 14th, 15th is Edgar Barth. Then we have 16th, who is John Taylor. Rudaz 17th, a new face here on the grid. Then we have Phil Hill 18th, 19th is Giancarlo Baghetti, followed by Trevor Taylor in 20th, Ian Raby in 21st, 22nd is Cabral, another new face on the grid, followed by Mike Hillwood in 23rd, and Russo Gecki in 24th, also a new face on the grid. So that was the grid lineup, and we are absolutely I don't know what I wanted to say, but anyway, we are off, and that was an very good start from Andy. Took the lead and kept it straight off the bat. That's absolutely fantastic. As we come into turn 1, Lorenzo Bandini is having a look, but he was a bit too far back, so he couldn't really make anything of it. I kind of messed up coming into turn 2, but we are still in the lead and slowly pulling away from Bandini, which is fantastic. There's already a 2.5 second gap to Lorenzo Bandini. That's quite insane, given that we've only covered 2 corners up until now. And here is a replay of the start. A bit of wheel spin, but that's okay since we managed to take the lead very quickly, so that's very nice, obviously. As we once again come into turn 1, Bandini caught up to us coming into the corner, but that wasn't nearly enough. He if he was to pass us, he would have had to been much closer to us. So that was a very good start for Andy, as we now take a look at a replay of Cabral later on in the lap, coming through this right-hander and down towards the first of the two left-handers that goes over a bridge, and he kind of gets stuck on the bridge there. So do a bunch of other cars. However, they somehow managed to get themselves unstuck, as we now move on to lap 2 here, and I make a complete mess out of that left-hander, go very wide, but I managed to still keep the car under control. So we go on and do our stuff, as we see Rudas coming into the pits due to a gearbox problem, so he will be retiring obviously. There's no real point to racing without all your gears. And here we have a replay of Trevor Taylor coming through this right-hander and down towards the bridge, and I'm pretty sure I know what's going. Yep. Once again, people get stuck on the bridge, and that's the end of Trevor Taylor's race, unfortunately for him. So yeah, is there any? Yes, we have another replay. This is Peter Revson in the number 27 coming through the same right-hander and down towards the same bridge, so the outcome is probably the same. There it is. More cars getting stuck on this section of the track. I'm not quite sure why the AI is turning in so early, but there's that. And here's a replay of Bruce McLaren doing the exact same thing as the previous 2 or 3 people even did. He crashes into the bridge, and well, that's that, I guess. People should try to be a bit more careful coming into that part of the circuit, but hey, we now move on to laps 3 here. Lorenzo Bandini seems to be out of the race as well at this point, so we should have a few more replays, and indeed we do. We see Andre Pilet coming into the pits to retire due to a gearbox problem, so that's his excuse for retiring, I guess. Well, it's not really an excuse, as we now take a look at a replay of Lorenzo Bandini coming through this left-hander, and his engine explodes and is out of the German Grand Prix as well. Well, we cannot quite see him anymore, but he's there behind that hill. As we now move on to lap 4, we've pulled a massive gap on Surtees. He is some 1.5 minutes behind us, so we are doing very well here. And we see another replay, this time of Tony Max, who loses his brakes coming into this right-hander, ends up at on that little mound there, and obviously he retires from the race after this. So that's that, as we continue to pull away from Surtees coming through this left-hander and into the mini carousel here. So there's not much left to do except to move on to the final lap of the race, and here we are coming around to finish the race, take the win of the German Grand Prix, and also propose the fastest lap just now, so that's quite nice. And here is a replay of us coming around to set the fastest lap of the race. Quite a fitting end to the German Grand Prix, although it was quite a well, not a very exciting race, considering that Andy started from pole and took the lead straight away. Surtees finished second, Eamon third, Bonnier fourth, fifth Siffert, and Bob Anderson finished in sixth. So those are the top 6, and you can see the rest of the people who finished. Baghetti and Russo were the last people to finish the race, and here are the retirements. Quite a few people retired, about 8 I believe. And well, that was a good result for Andy, although again the race itself wasn't all that exciting. Not much overtaking took place since Andy took the lead right off the bat, so yeah. Anyway, here are the career statistics, and this was Andy's 127th Grand Prix. His best start is from first, has 9 pole positions, has set 21 fastest laps. His best finishes in first, has completed 83 races, 67 of them in the points, has won 39 Grand Prix, 4 at the Indianapolis 500, 6 in Monaco, has 7 championships under his belt, has scored a total of 460 points, has retired 44 times, has experienced 2,734 out of 3,374 laps, has 6 bronze trophies, 15 silver trophies, 39 gold trophies, and as an extension, 39 podiums. And here is a quick look at the championship standings. Andy Higgs extending his lead in the championship. Jim Clark is second, John Surtees third, Mike Spence fourth, and Gerhard Mitter fighting for fifth alongside Bandini. The last person to score points is Hap Sharp down in 20th, and bringing up the rear of the standings is Cabral down in 37th. So those are the driver standings. So now let's move on to the constructors, and here we see Honda extending their lead in the championship, followed by Team Lotus in second, Ferrari third, and fighting for fourth are Peter Revson, RRC Walker Racing Team, and Rec Parnell Racing. The last team to score points are John Wilmot Automobiles in 13th, and bringing up the bottom of the constructor standings are Darrington Francis Racing Team down in 22nd. So those are the constructors, and that was the German Grand Prix. Again, a very good result for Andy. Unfortunately, this time around it wasn't as exciting a race as we've seen previously in the season, but regardless, this is a very good result, and this could well be Andy Higgs' chance to win the 1964 Drivers' Championship. He has plenty of points, and there's a good margin between him and second place, so we'll have to see how things go. Obviously, there's still quite a ways to go. There are 4 more races in the season, so anything could still happen, and he could still lose a championship, which means that he will have to be very, very careful. Anyway, our next race is the Austrian Grand Prix, a new race in the season, in the calendar. Looking forward to it. It will be held at Zeltweg. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And I'm quite looking forward to it. It's quite a weird looking circuit, but it should be fun nonetheless. But that is the end of the video. Not much more to add to any of this. You saw what happened, so yeah. Again, not a very exciting race. It's never a very exciting race when you take the lead early on in the race, but hey, it happened, so there's that. Anyway, don't forget to vote for next season's team. Link is in the description. I also have a second channel where I will be playing all sorts of different games. At the moment, I'm doing a playthrough of Homefront and the movies, so if you're interested in any of those games and more, there will be a link in the description to my second channel as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.